This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English. Yeah, her hair looks great today.
I said I really didn't do much to it.
I love it. It looks nice.
Thank you.
We're welcoming you to Daily Flash. We got today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
I think it's the turtleneck and the sweater.
It is so weird, which we'll
Yeah.
talk about a little bit later on, is that we did not plan this.
No.
And we just show up,
Sweater,
and this
turtleneck.
happens. I cannot tell you how many times this happens.
It's
We
true.
match the same colors
Can
all
we
the time.
do? We should mention it's 34 degrees outside here in Florida, which
Very
is
cool.
a
T-shirt
shocker.
weather.
Yeah. You are a big part of our show. Maybe
Yep.
you're wearing a turtleneck today and a sweater. Thanks for joining the club. James Alexander has a
Hey,
bit of a
James!
blazer and nice shirt on, looking very
you look good,
professional.
Hey, buddy.
Hey guys, as you know, we're seen across the country in 219 special channels in the American Forces Network. So what I want you to do, I want you to go to our social media channels. I want you to like and subscribe. Let me say it again. Like and subscribe. All right. And also go to our website, dailyflashshow.com, and click on where to watch so you know where we are in your neck of the woods. Now, we got a question of the day for
love
you to
it.
comment on. You
Okay.
ready?
What
Yes.
is it, man?
What celebrity breakup surprised you the most?
Like, you didn't like when this came out of left field?
Yep.
Kind of thing. Yeah, I think just as of recently, Nicole Kidman
And Keith Urban.
I
I was
had
surprised
no
by
idea.
that one, too.
But I like how they did it. You
Yeah.
know, they didn't make it a big deal. Do you know what I'm
They
saying? You
didn't
almost
uncouple
appreciate-
like
yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Which you knew exactly.
Exactly.
That's a
Oh,
good
wow.
point. So, but that took me by surprise.
I would say Giselle and Tom Brady. That kind of
Yeah.
surprised
Really?
me a lot.
Have you
Yeah.
seen what he's been posting? People are saying
Yeah.
that he's Tom is like posting. Have you seen this?
I-
So he's posting stuff, and people are saying, "Tom, let it go," because she's got remarried.
Yeah,
And-
married
hold on.
and had a baby.
And-
And by who though? Let's talk about who.
The
Because it's still a weird
jujitsu-
dynamic.
The jujitsu instructor.
Judicial instructor for their kids that she ended up marrying.
Married.
But here's the thing: you either got to feel really good about yourself or feel really bad. There's no when the ex-husband is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love the guy.
I
Yeah,
do, too.
I'm sure he has so many faults, but like he's beloved by so many
Very
people.
few, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, right. I have a man crush on the dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I love his story. First off,
Oh, it's great.
And
You got a man crush on Tom?
Tom
He is a
Brady's
Michigan
awesome.
man, though. He is a Michigan man.
he is
Yeah.
a Michigan man, and I've always been a Bucks guy. And so when he
Okay.
came Bucks, it's like, hey
Yeah.
man, this is my guy.
Yeah.
This proves that he's my guy.
Right.
But the fact that he came really was like one of the last draft picks to what he
Right.
is now.
Yeah,
his
he's got a great
story's
story.
incredible.
Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant.
And
Yeah.
he's also in, and I'm not going to go too off base here, but he did the Pizza Hut commercial.
oh,
Yeah.
Hut.
That,
I love it.
And but
So
people are
cute.
saying because he has this crazy diet that he
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
are saying, "Look, are you selling out?" Hey, look, man, it's a job. It gets
He's
it.
retired.
If you think
He's finally retired, man. Let him
having
enjoy his
fun.
life.
Let him do that.
I'm going to tell you,
Yes.
Desmond and Christy Scott, if you guys don't know who they are, find out. 9.9 million followers for the wife who emasculated her husband on every different
See, I'm
post
not-
that she did.
I don't like that. I
And
don't like that.
1.9 million for the husband who's a chef.
And he
Both-
finally said, I'm done.
Yeah, he said I'm done. They have
social
been
media will just
separated
rip
for a while.
because
Yeah.
you're not putting your real life out.
Right,
You're not.
right. It's bad.
It's all phony.
All right.
Okay, we all like to travel here on the show. We've
Love
had
it.
plenty of experiences on airplanes. Well, social media users are blasting airline passengers who scam the system by using wheelchairs to avoid lines
Girl.
and pre-board, okay? It is known, I learned this is something new to me, known as the Jetway Jesus or the Miracle Flight trend.
Hallelujah.
It's when a passenger is wheeled onto the plane but walks off with zero assistance once the plane lands. Yeah, the Jetway Jesus Miracle Flight. Wall Street Journal recently wrote about the issue. They even quoted one passenger who said his flight was delayed when 25 people were in wheelchairs waiting in the boarding process area. One critic claimed that many people are faking mobility issues.
Yep.
In an effort to get better treatment, maybe a better
Yeah.
seat. Airlines, they say they've seen a 30% increase annually in wheelchair assistance requests in the past year alone, especially at the bigger airports. Now,
Look
in
at
a
this.
few,
If you're
right?
watching the video, okay.
It's crazy. Now, in a few cases, many of the passengers are asking for assistance. They don't necessarily have a physical disability. They're just a little overwhelmed and don't feel confident in navigating a big airport. And this surprised me. Major airlines such as JetBlue, Delta, American, they allow passengers to request wheelchairs when they book a flight. United does not require a doctor's note or any other proof of disability. And Southwest Airlines shared in a statement that federal regulations prevent commercial air carriers from asking for proof of a disability.
Okay, but Southwest just came out because I think they're the biggest offenders. I shouldn't say biggest offenders. People
Take
take advantage of that more. Okay, so glad you said that. Came back from Las Vegas. Girl was in a wheelchair, and I saw they had like 10 of them.
Right.
Because that's another thing. You guys hear me complain about it all the time. With Southwest, thank goodness you're changing your policy on open seating. Because that's what encourages it more because you get on for and you'll get a better seat no matter what. All right, so you get in there. Here's the thing. I don't want people in wheelchairs on the front of the plane because if it goes down, you know what I'm saying? Am I right or wrong?
That's a really
and
good
then you put all the kids up front, and then I'm going to be elderly. I'm not far away. I'm closer to being elderly than I am being younger, okay?
Yes,
And then
okay.
they let those people on. So you got all the people that are going to back up. And then, all right, now if you're active military, you come in. After like 10,000 people have already gone. No, I want active military
up front.
ready to
100%.
go.
Yeah.
Already. So there's that. So I want to tell you, this girl does this
Yeah.
in her 20s or whatever, and she goes in a seat, and then she sits on the aisle seat. And I walk up, and I go, hey, is that? And then she puts some stuff over there, and I'm like, nobody really. I got on A because I'm very important, and so I keep going through. And she's sitting on the aisle, but I go, hey, is someone sitting there? And she goes, yeah, so that seat's taken. I go, yeah, but is somebody sitting there, right?
Yeah.
And she says, yes. And so I go, is someone sitting there or are you saving it for somebody?
Oh, you
I got
did?
mouthy. I got
Oh.
mouthy. And I'm not that kind to
Okay.
do that. So I go, and she goes, there's someone sitting there, is what she says. So I go, all right, fine. I sit next to this lovely couple right behind him the whole time and watch. And I couldn't tell you how many people walked through. She goes, that seat's taken. She saved it for her friend. So she gets on with the wheelchair,
Yeah.
saves a seat for her friend right
that's-
here.
that's
That was
smart.
her stuff right here.
Oh my
That's smart.
goodness.
Well, it's,
Right.
it is smart, but
it's
you
bothering.
lied.
But
You
she's,
lied.
But
You
she's
lied.
gaming the system.
Yeah.
Right.
And that bothered me.
Yes, I
Because I'm
agree.
like, you know what? I paid extra to get in the A block.
Right. Yep.
Here you are, faking.
Right.
Because she got up and left too, and she
She
was
got
Jesus.
up. She was a Jetway Jesus, miracle flight. She got up and
love
walked
that.
on
Hallelujah.
on her own accord.
So, and
Amazing.
that's probably part of the reason why Southwest is saying, look,
Yeah.
all right, let's just get rid of this open seating
Yeah.
thing, because it's craziness, especially out of Orlando.
But that's the only way you can crack down on it because you can't ask people what's wrong with you.
Yeah, right.
You can't ask because HIPAA laws and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, it's up to the airline to crack down on it, and they can because I get it. There's so many people taking advantage of the system. That's what we always do. We always find a hole in the back door and sneak in and figure out how to get things done the way we want to get done.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
Oh,
the
like it.
American way, right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
what happens.
Yes, sir.
I think that you probably see it more on Southwest. Okay, if you have an assigned seat and you're way in the back, okay, great. Okay, get on, you're on before me. Somebody had to
Right.
wheel you in. You had to fake it. What kind of person are you? I have no problem with that. It's just the open seating thing.
Yeah.
You're taking advantage and you're taking a
course.
seat away from me who I
Yeah.
paid more to get that seat that I wanted.
Yeah, and to me, it's like bad karma. Like, why would you put yourself in a wheelchair if you're not disabled and lie about a disability just to get a better seat on an airplane? It makes zero sense to me. And then, then the airlines are a little hamstrung because they're not allowed to ask for proof of a disability. So
Yeah.
they're sort of at the mercy of these customers who are demanding a wheelchair. So my thought is, do you hike the prices, make it more expensive, and discourage people like this from flying, or is it one of those things where it doesn't
touchy.
matter how much you're paying, you're
It's a
willing
touchy
to,
situation.
to take advantage?
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, what they need to do is in the middle of the plane, is just say, hey, we're going down, and see how many people get up. Faker, get them back. Or hey, or put a mark on. Or I know when I lived out in Utah for a while, you would see a lot of people in wheelchairs because they go skiing and they would hurt
yeah.
themselves. And you don't really,
really? I
it's
didn't
hard
know
to,
Yeah.
they'll twist it.
Yeah.
I can get that sort of thing.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, of
But I want to
course.
see a brace on you.
Yeah.
I want to see. I don't want to
Or
see
well, evidence.
a
Yeah,
bunch of
clear evidence.
crap hanging off the back of your wheelchair, like 2 or 3 bags. I've seen it all, y'all. I've seen it, and I'm tired of it.
You want the personalized wheelchair. You want to make sure that it's legit and that
Say
person has
Jetway
actually spent
Jesus.
quality time in there. The neck brace that you see.
Oh,
you
okay.
can take that off immediately.
Okay, but But they have to wear it the whole flight.
Yeah.
That's the thing. From now on, they
So
have to
be
wear it.
uncomfortable the whole
Yeah.
flight.
What do you think about this? Got some solutions better
Yeah.
than ours? We need to hear from you. Flash at dailyflashshow.com. Hey, also, coming up a little bit later on, why social media is going back a decade. We'll tell you about that, and you're seeing that a lot.
We've also got Help My Home. We're going to show you how to replace that bathroom fan.
Ooh.
And we've also got streaming for the weekend.
First, though, we got our brain flash question du jour. What series was the first streaming show to win an Emmy for Outstanding Drama
Ooh,
Series?
I think I know this one.
You think you know?
Yeah, I
Jack?
think I
I
do.
bet you
Yeah,
do. You're really
don't
good
say
at
that.
that. We have more Flash coming up after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here. Let's see if you got today's Brain Flash question correct. Here's that question again. What series was the first streaming show to win the Emmy for Outstanding Drama Series? Jackson says it was The Handmaid's Tale. See if she's right. Yep, it is. You got it right. Fantastic. Handmaid's Tale. Fantastic. Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. There's a viral social media trend, actually, that has people calling 2026 the new 2016. And yeah, we're a little confused. So with some details and explanation, all the way from Singapore is Aditi Barad from Business Insider. Aditi, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Mitch. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back. And let's talk about this. What really sparked this 2016 nostalgia trend we're seeing?
Right. So I think what sparked the trend was this purple blue hazy filter on TikTok that resembled the filters that were popular back in the day on Instagram. And that's how people, particularly millennials, started posting pictures they took for social media back in the day with all their winged eyeliner, skinny jeans, glory.
Some of us still have those too, unfortunately. But why is this resonating with the millennials? Why did they pick up on this?
Well, so I spoke to a couple of social media experts about this, and they said that a lot of millennials look at where they are in life right now and think, I thought I would be in a different place at this point. Many of them aren't able to afford a house, are struggling with uncertain job market. But in 2016, a lot of them were in school with fewer burdens and stressors. So this trend is a way to be nostalgic about an easier, happier time. Many of them have used the caption, "You just had to be there."
I think I was in 2016. I'm not sure if I wanted to be there again. You're moving forward and that sort of thing. And as you were putting this article together here, have you seen celebrities jumping on board?
Yeah, a lot actually. So I saw Charlie Puth, Carly Kloss, John Legend, and others. They've joined in, posting, unglamorous, awkward, but authentic selfies.
Yeah.
Kylie Jenner posted pictures of herself wearing skinny jeans and black Converse high tops. And Eva Longoria posted a picture of herself with the very iconic Snapchat doggy ear filter.
Okay.
And beauty influencer James Charles recreated his iconic cut crease eyeshadow look from 2016. So yeah, a bunch of celebrities have joined in on the trend.
And what do you think this says about social media culture? And do you think it's going to stick around?
Well, I think that it shows that people miss the relaxed and simple social media of 2016 when
Yeah.
Reels wasn't a thing, when feeds weren't overly aesthetic and curated, and you didn't have to worry about AI slop on your feed. So social media was about documenting life as it happened, not really about the likes or the engagement.
I like that. You kind of wish you can go back to some of that. We're going to do a little flashback here of our show here. We're going to go through some shots. This is 10 years ago. All right, let's pop up the first one here. You can see this is Jackson and I. I remember when we took this picture, Jackson, but I think I have facial hair in the other one. So, all right. But I remember 2016. That's the good news. Got some other ones here, folks on staff. This is Hugo. Hugo, you still have the same amount of hair. Just a little bit more now on your face. That's Hugo, our executive producer. We got any more? Showing some of the side-by-sides. This is Taylor. Now, Taylor, I think he told me he was 13 years old in this one. Look at him. Very good stuff. A little flashback there, remembering 2016. Adita, thanks so much for joining us. And of course, you want to find out more information, you can check out businessinsider.com, and we'll have this interview on our website, dailyflashshow.com.
Oh, Mitch, thank you. 2016. How about that in 2026? Well, speaking of photos, the first photos of two famous actors make them both look unrecognizable. We're talking about Jude Law and Andrew Garfield, who will be starring as Siegfried and Roy in a new TV series for Apple called Wild Things. Law is sporting a blonde mullet, some aviators. He's playing Siegfried Fischbacher. Garfield's seen wearing a long hair, a soul patch, and glasses. Now he's starring as Roy Horn. Siegfried and Roy first met in 1957 while working on a cruise ship, believe it or not. Their famous Las Vegas show lasted from 1990 to 2003 at the Mirage. In 2003, you might remember, Horn was mauled by a 600-pound tiger during a live performance. The duo took their final bow in 2009 for a charity event. They have both since passed away, Siegfried at 85 in 2021 and Horn at 75 in 2020.
I remember when that happened too,
Yeah.
that he did not want anything to happen to the tiger,
No.
you know, because like he was, you know, and you kind of, you know, in this day and age, if somebody finds a wild animal somewhere, they automatically, well, we got to put it down. And, or if it bites, a dog bites somebody,
Yes.
you know, that sort of thing. But I remember when all that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just a staple of Las Vegas. Everybody thought about it. And then when that happened, it kind of just, you know,
Changed the
everything.
and
yeah.
I don't think the Mirage is even there anymore. It's a different hotel.
A lot of people think that's the whole thing about a Mirage. Right? Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
I think you're right.
You're right.
All right, actor Gene Hackman's New Mexico mansion, it's hit the market for $6.3 million. The house was listed almost 1 year to the day. The Oscar winner and his wife were found dead inside of their Santa Fe compound. Authorities discovered their bodies February 26 during a welfare check. The listing agents have confirmed that all the personal effects have been removed from the 13,000 square foot mega mansion. They also confirmed in a recent interview that they held off on adding the usual celebrity premium to the sale price because of the home's tragic past, which I would imagine would have to, but it still comes with that.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the house he had died in, and you know, it was in the whole sad situation
That was a
how
terrible
it
story,
happened.
yeah.
Indeed, and at least checked out. I remember. He's got some very famous neighbors too. I think Julia Roberts has a place like in
think
her
so,
neighborhood.
yes.
And this is a place where every house has to, you talk about HOA, it has to look the same and stuff.
Yes.
Santa Fe is such a gorgeous, gorgeous area. So whoever gets it gets a great house, but also a great story, or a story rather.
Yeah, and they were very isolated too. When you look at those pictures, you can see why you could
Yeah.
get lost on that property.
All right, we have more Flash coming up around the question. We'll check in with you.
Yep.
And of course, James is going to let know our question of the day when we return.
Welcome back to the Daily Flash. I'm James Alexander here with your question of the day. What celebrity breakup surprised you the most? I know it's my favorite internet couple, Desmond and Christy Scott, but I want your comments and you just let me know. There's another story I want your comments on. It's the abuse of the wheelchair policy at
yeah.
airports, guys. I mean, it's crazy out here. I think I need to find mine so I can get up front too. Hold on.
Jesus, Jetway Jesus,
Jetway
what they were calling.
Jesus, or
Jetway
also known as
Jesus.
the Miracle Flight. Wall Street Journal did a big expose on this, where people are taking advantage of using a wheelchair to get a better seat or get better experience at the airport, preferential treatment.
Yeah, and it happens more than you think. I think Southwest, because they're the last to have open seating, and people took advantage of this. But look at your screen to give you an idea. And think about how long it takes to get one person with a wheelchair. And by the way, if you're in a wheelchair, we want you to be able to get it. It's those people that are taking advantage of it. That's the issue.
That don't have a disability, and they're using it out of convenience. And this is something the Jetway Jesus, the Miracle Flight, is where you're wheeled onto the flight in a wheelchair, but oddly enough, you're able to walk off that flight all on your own. It's a miracle.
And it happens, like I said, more than you actually think. So we want to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe you should get like next time you fly, a little check mark by your name to say this guy's not really in a wheelchair, but he'll say he is. Who knows? I
Couple
don't know.
interesting perspectives from our staff here. Hugo, our executive producer, was flying with his parents recently, and here at Orlando International at MCO, they've got a separate line for wheelchairs at TSA, because it obviously takes a little bit longer for those wheelchairs to get through. Great for older people, great for people who do really have a disability. And Sean, our audio guy, was saying he does a lot of these concerts, a lot of these shows, and he sees a lot of people who attempt to get by with a disability pass so that they can get a front row seat, better position to enjoy the show on a platform. So there are a lot of folks who are taking advantage of it. And of course, the handicap placards. James was telling us about parking with the handicap placards. They had a big bust in Central Florida where they were following people and making sure, are you really handicapped, or did you get that from somebody and you're just using it and abusing it?
And it happens, as we say, obviously we're talking about it, so it happens more than you think altogether, and higher fines should happen to those people. I
agree.
mean, you know, it's fraud if you think about it.
Yes,
right?
big time. So let us know what you think. Flash at dailyflashshow.com. Head to our website as well. One Virginia high school learning science is not limited to textbooks or labs. It's actually happening right underneath the hood.
Okay.
Yeah, students in an automotive tech program are applying physics, engineering, problem-solving skills in an effort to bring donated vehicles back to life. Every repair becomes a real-world lesson in applied science, but the impact does not stop there. Once the cars are road-ready, they are gifted to single moms who need dependable transportation. This program proves how common sense education involving math and science can teach valuable life skills not only in the classroom but outside of it as well.
They're talking about the tool belt generation more and more, which I'm actually happy to see. More and more millennials are actually going for jobs that are hands-on, air conditioning, plumbing,
tech college,
this sort of thing. Because no matter what, you know, robots, it's got to diagnose your car. Yeah, granted they could do that, but actually having somebody go in there and do it, it still takes humans to be able to do it. This is teaching them that. I've seen several different programs where obviously it's for less fortunate. I've seen some where they give it to like custodians or somebody that just needs it in their school. But they're also seeing the fruits of their labor, you know, and that is, I think, more. It's like mowing a lawn. Like no one likes mowing lawn, but when you're done and you look back at it, you're like,
great.
Man, this looks great.
Yeah.
And that's what these kids can do.
Same with do you like washing your car?
Going
to the car wash?
Car wash, yeah. I'm not. You know.
Right. It's one of those chores that to me it's just like, oh, I hate having to do it. But then once you do it, you're like, oh, it looks so much better. It's cleaner. It's nicer.
Well,
you know, pride and ownership.
And they teach that in high school as well with the cheerleaders, with the car washes. They're always a good fundraiser,
yes,
right? Let's go out to the Beehive State, where a new law there actually restricts people convicted of extreme DUI offenses from ever buying alcohol. I like this idea, and the law aims to prevent repeat drunk driving offenses by limiting access to alcohol for those with those convictions. Now, under the law, judges will have the final discretion who can make that final decision. They can place a mark on someone's driver's license that says no alcohol sales. So basically, they go and try to buy alcohol on their ID. It'll say do not sell them alcohol. This would actually alert the cashiers not to sell it. The law will also allow people to classify themselves under this new restriction. Maybe there's you're a alcoholic and you're trying to get, you know, this one last buffer that you want to make sure that you don't get alcohol. Here's the thing: if you're looking for alcohol, you're going to find it some way. But I think we're talking about people that have had 2, 3 DUIs when they say extreme DUIs.
I appreciate the sentiment. I think it's a great idea, but I think implementing it is going to be tough because it seems like these folks who have these multiple DUIs have serious problems and they don't stop drinking. They don't stop drinking after 1, after 2. It's not until they've served time in prison, it seems like, that they actually learn a lesson.
Somebody dies.
Or someone dies. And you don't want it to get to that. But if they want alcohol, they'll have somebody else go buy it.
Get it.
Or, I don't know, an ID. Do they get that same thing on a picture ID? I mean, who's to say? You know, you go to a local convenience store or a pop and shop down the street, they're not going to check. They don't care.
And especially if you look older, you know,
Exactly.
is that age you don't get carded anymore.
Yeah.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash.
Yeah.
Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, let's check in with our stations across the nation. James Alexander, who is watching us out there in where?
I know, what? 219 stations across this great country, the American Forces Network, OTT platforms, all that good stuff, social media channels. And you know what? If you want to see us and figure out where we are, just go to our dailyflashshow.com. You can click on where to watch and see where we are in your neck of the woods. But today, we want to talk about a local friend.
Yes.
we're going to go to the UP of Michigan.
UP
Upers,
Michigan.
Marquette, Michigan. You're on deck. That's
Yeah.
right, baby. Marquette, Michigan. I'm a Michigan man. It is what it is. But thank you to
University
our
there?
friends at Marquette, Michigan.
Is that where that Marquette University's at? Do you know?
No.
Basketball.
No, it's not.
No,
so
no,
totally
no,
something
no,
different.
No,
Okay.
Marquette's
yeah,
a
that's
different-
that's
different-
totally
See, I learned
different.
something today.
Okay.
That's it. But you need to go to UP. I need to take both
Are
of you
you
guys
a
there.
Michigan guy or a Michigan State guy?
I went to Central Michigan University, home of the Chippewas, but I am a Michigan man.
And then
I love Michigan.
we also have another Michigonian, or is that what
Yes,
you call it?
Michigonian.
Which is our
Keegan.
director, Keegan. And
Yes.
Keegan, what are you, buddy? Tell me my ear.
Michigan State, I think
He
he
is.
said.
He is a Spartan,
He's
a
a
Chippewa
Spartan, a
Spartan.
Michigan
Yeah,
State
yeah,
Spartan.
he likes to. Well, it's because Central
well, I
Michigan
don't know.
and
Which one
Michigan
are you?
State,
Keegan?
they're right next to each other, so
Oh.
they're an hour difference. We used to go down there and party.
Okay.
You know,
So he
different names on that
So
campus.
Keegan's parents went to both of them.
Yes.
So he's a
Yeah.
product of University.
No, he's not. You take after your dad, who's a Chippewa.
Is that what it
Okay,
is?
thank you.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. I love AI. You guys know that, James. I know
Yeah.
you and I, we talk about how AI can help us out so much. I'm getting a little concerned. It's going to happen no matter what. AI is going to take over. We know that. But now, if you're familiar with Google's Gemini, they are now offering for some beta users where it goes in. It's called Gemini AI. Already, it can help you write emails. We know all about that. But what this is doing, it'll go through all your apps that you have on your phone, as including your email and everything else. Now, you opt into this. You don't have to do this. But if you opt into it, it will say something like, oh, I want to go on travel. Well, now it knows, based off your pictures, or maybe a Travelocity or an app you might have used, where you went, how much you spent, and everything. Which, to me, it sounds, okay, this is great. It'd be wonderful. The problem is, 5 years from now, you forgot that you've done this, or heck, 5 months from now, 5 days from now, and you're starting to get all these suggestions, and then how much does Google know about you, right? Because you're allowing it here. We said this many times on the show, and you can finish the sentence here, Jackson. If you're not paying for it, you're the product.
You're the product,
Yes.
So they're going to go through that. And I look at these sort of things because my phone, when Apple came out with the iPhone where you can get it to flash if somebody calls you, right? And I did that, I don't know, 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. I don't know, whenever they first allowed doing it. And so the other night, I'm in bed, and Liza's like, can you turn that thing off? It flashes in the middle of the night. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to turn the thing off.
My God.
And that's what I'm afraid of with AI, is that it's going to be 5 years from now, and I'm going to forget what all this stuff is hooked up to.
Same thing happened to me. I adjusted the sleep sleep time in my health app,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then I've had this alarm
Yeah.
going off at like 3 o'clock in the morning
my gosh.
for the last 2 weeks, and I could not figure out how the heck to turn it off. I went to my clock, I tried to turn it off there. It's been going on for weeks now. I finally did a huge deep dive, and it's buried deep within my health app on my iPhone.
I know what you're talking
and
about.
that's
wow.
the only way I could turn it off on my alarm setting. I was like, oh my God.
So if you can imagine that, Google
Yeah.
getting deep inside your
No,
life,
thank you.
right?
I just need you guys to come over to the green bubble side. It's okay.
No.
He just gave 2 great reasons why you should come over to the,
the
Android.
green bubble side.
Become
Not
Android.
gonna happen.
Yeah, I just think if you're opening the door to your entire online life by
Yeah.
doing that, and if you have nothing to hide, I guess not a problem. But I
Right.
just feel like it's a deep dive into stuff you probably don't even realize is there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what the concern is going to be down
Yeah.
the road. And you're like, it's already AI knows so much about me.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. You're everything that you thought was a secret is already gone. So it already knows
a great
about
point.
you
That's a
so
very good
much
point.
that
Sure.
it can tell you when you're going to feel hungry.
Yeah, you're right.
No, if
That's
it knows
a
your
good point.
alarms, it knows
Yep.
what time you get
Yep.
up. It's
Yep,
going to
yep,
stuff.
yep.
All right, we got Help My Home coming up a little later on the show.
Yep, streaming for the weekend. Today's Talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Daily Flash. We want to help you help your home. Plain and simple.
Look at us here.
Yeah.
If you were looking to tackle a couple of home improvement projects with a little DIY help, we've got you covered. Here's our favorite home improvement guy, Gator, with advice on how to change out that bathroom fan.
So if you've got an exhaust fan in your bathroom that has quit working, these things get rusted over time from the moisture in the bathroom, and they do quit working. So the first thing you want to do is pull this cover down. Some of them snap on there, some of them hook up a different way, but this one actually just pulls down like this. Okay, and then it's hanging there by these little tabs. You can reach up on the side, squeeze these tabs in, And this lid will actually come right off like this. So these fans actually just plug in here with like a little plug like that. I've got the switch turned on. I'm going to take my meter and just test to make sure I got power here. And I do, so that tells me the fan's bad. Now, once you determine it's your fan, you can go ahead and turn your power off. I just turn the switch off. That's just the way I do it. This fan's held in here with a box, and there's actually a little lower piece in here that kind of snaps in. I'll just use my screwdriver and kind of pry around the edge, and I'll pop this piece out. Just like that. Now, once you get that piece out, you're going to notice that here's where it plugs in. You don't have to mess with any of that. You can just leave this box here. Get it down, it's going to look something like this. This is the fan blade. This is the fan motor. It's completely rusted, as you see. It's shorted out. You can hardly even see any numbers on there. You could possibly buy just the motor itself. They're not going to have it at your hardware store. You'd have to order it. I don't do that, okay? I go to Home Depot and buy a brand new one like this for $19.99. Comes with a new box, fan, everything. Now, obviously, you're not going to replace the box because you're going to end up having to do sheetrock work in the ceiling. You only want this piece right here. Take your screwdriver just like we did inside. Put it right here and pry it a little bit. And this whole piece comes right out, okay? Just like that. It's identical to the one I just took out, okay? So it's just going to drop right in there. It doesn't always work like that. Sometimes if it's not the same, you can take this motor off. There's 2 bolts right here, some little nuts under here. You can take this motor off, take your new motor, attach it to this, and then just put it back in there. Now, I've replaced quite a few like this where they just pop right in there, and I've done quite a few where you have to change the motor. This is one of the easier ones. Sometimes it works like that. You just take this, put it right back where you got the old one from. Just like that, snaps right back in there. You plug the fan right back in, turn it on. And just like that, you got a brand new working fan. It even comes with a new cover. So you go ahead and squeeze these little metal tabs and put them right here in this slot that you see on the side. And that's how the cover gets held in. There's one on each side. You just gotta kind of press it together and just kind of push it up in there. Just like that. Once you get it in there, push it all the way up to the ceiling and you're done. It's as simple as that. Took me about 30 minutes, cost me about 20 bucks. Got a brand new fan. You can take this and throw it in the garbage because you won't need it. All right, then. Next!
Thank you there, Gator. We call those fart fans. Sorry, I never called them exhaust
said it.
fans. All right, we got a great way now to turn that $10 rug from IKEA into a designer doormat. Check this out.
If you need an inexpensive rug, come to IKEA and pick this one up for under $10. I found this stencil on Amazon that I wanted to use. It's actually a floor stencil, and I was kind of trying to figure out how I wanted to do my stencil. I decided that I just wanted to do the stencil in the middle. So this came with 2 floor stencils. So I put them on top of each other. Then I used some painter's tape to hold it in place. Now for my paint color, I went with this really pretty green color I had in a sample paint. I'm gonna be using a brush to apply it. You're gonna put 1 coat of paint on your stencil. If you see some areas where you feel like there's not a lot of paint, you could immediately go back in and add a little bit more. Let that dry, and then you can remove your stencil. I like to do a clear coat to just make my rugs last longer. This works great. It really does a great job of making your rugs last longer, and they're so much more vibrant.
Loving it.
Help your home. It's on our website if you need more info. Stay with us. Daily Flash returns right after this. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. January is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Erica Reed with the Blue Campaign has more.
Human trafficking affects an estimated 27.6 million people worldwide each year, including millions here in the United States. I'm Erica Reed from the Blue Campaign, and you might think you'd recognize human trafficking if you saw it, but the reality is more complex. It doesn't always involve abduction or strangers. It can happen anywhere to anyone, through manipulation, coercion, or exploitation. Its impact on victims is devastating, leaving deep physical and emotional scars. January is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, a time to open our eyes, learn the signs, and speak up. When we start honest conversations with friends, family, and young people in our lives, we help break the silence that allows trafficking to thrive. One victim is one too many. Together, we can recognize, prevent, and stop human trafficking in our communities. Learn more at bluecampaign.gov.
A popular wine is now more accessible for non-drinkers. Check this out.
Wine-based and non-alcoholic cocktails are trending. We just launched Josh Seller's non-alcoholic sparkling. It's great for celebrating and everyday enjoyment. The most important thing is taste. Our non-alcoholic sparkling has all the great flavors of our regular Prosecco without the buzz. Wine-based cocktails are also trending. Try making a simple spritz or a kitty highball, which combines Pinot Noir, lime juice, simple syrup, and ginger beer.
Visit joshsellers.com to learn more.
Not every SUV is built the same. Auto Trader's Mike Danger highlights models designed with a more rugged edge. Hey, Mike.
We love our SUVs, plenty of space and comfort for our passengers, and it's practical and convenient for our cargo, whether big or small. But some buyers want something that looks a little bit more rugged, so some automakers have that part covered. The Ford Bronco Sport has an available Sasquatch package, which adds all-terrain tires, an upgraded all-wheel drive system, skid plates, and up to 250 horsepower. Subaru's Outback Wilderness model gets added ground clearance, unique front and rear bumpers, and copper exterior accents. And there's the new Honda CR-V Trailsport model, which includes all-terrain tires, skid garnishes, and exclusive green pearl exterior paint. The new 2026 Toyota RAV4 now has a rugged-looking woodland trim with a model-specific front bumper, black exterior trim pieces, all-terrain tires, and about an inch extra of ground clearance.
Hey, we got some good news for taxpayers this year. New tax laws could actually mean thousands more in refunds. One of the nation's most trusted names in tax prep has come up with a fun way to make this tax season all that much better.
Big refunds need bigger pockets. That's why Jackson Hewitt, one of the nation's most trusted names in tax prep service, has introduced Refund Jeans, limited edition denim jeans with pockets big enough to hold this season's big tax refunds. And for many, that could mean thousands of dollars back.
So much space.
Yep, behind the scenes, Jackson Hewitt tax pros have been gearing up and staying on top of all the latest tax law changes, so you can rest easy this tax season. While you can't shop the jeans, you can win them. They're giving away 100 pairs to Instagram followers through a sweepstakes. Through February 11th, fans can enter by following them on Instagram and engaging with select Refund Jeans posts. And each week for 4 weeks, 25 winners will be chosen. See all the rules on jacksonhewitt.com/refundjeans. And there's more good news. For the first time ever, Jackson Hewitt is offering its tax refund advance loan all season long. If approved, clients can get up to $3,500 in minutes anytime during tax season on a prepaid card. Finance charge applies. It's perfect for when you need money before your refund comes. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com/loans.
Italy remains one of the world's most popular travel destinations, but experts say when you go matters. Italy travel expert Stephen Perillo has more.
I'm in the middle of Tuscany. I'm at the Torciano Winery, and that's San Gimignano behind me. And it's 56 degrees in the middle of January, so the weather is great. From November to March, that's the off-season where you save a lot of money on airfare and hotels, so the value is unbelievable. There's so much to see in Italy. It goes back 2,500 years with this artwork, the architecture. The Pantheon is 2,000 years old. It hasn't changed a bit. There's so much to see in so little time. Ask a professional company like Perillo Tours for help. We can choreograph your trip. We'll sequence a day for you, like a morning at the Vatican Museum and an afternoon at a cooking class in Rome or Tuscany here, where you can learn to make homemade pasta. We are at perillotours.com. That's our website, and we hope to hear from you.
And now we got some information on the upcoming Biathlon Olympics.
The pressure's on USA's biathlon team to win its first ever medal during the Winter Olympics.
Pressure is what you put in tires, in my opinion. I think that they're obviously feeling it, but I really think that the team is more prepared than they've ever been. There's just excitement.
Chloe's a veteran athlete, but she knows it's not the end game.
I think that there's a misconception that a lot of professional athletes have 7-figure sponsorships, and that's just not true. I'm also not naive to the fact that an injury or an illness can end my career at any time. And so with that in mind, I like to be prepared for the future, and I do that by continuing my education with Guild through its partnership with the USOPC. I'm able to take tuition-free courses while I'm competing without sacrificing my high performance as a Team USA athlete, and that has been an absolute game changer.
Learn more at Guild.com.
Follow the Daily Buzz on social media.
Well, there is nothing like a virgin about this threesome as we head into some trending stories here for you. 67-year-old Madonna stripped down to her lingerie, hopped in bed with a duo of much younger men in her latest campaign for Dolce & Gabbana. Madge offers a sultry performance to promote the Italian brand's new fragrance.
She still has it, Madonna is Madonna. She can do those sort of things. I don't think it's shocking to anybody at all, but still looking good for her age.
She looks gorgeous. Yeah. I mean, but she doesn't, it's kind of that weird Hollywood, like, what did you do? I'm not sure what you did, and I'm not sure if it's camera or if it's really you.
The eyebrows are always throwing me off because she looks like she lightened her eyebrows, and they almost feel like they're invisible sometimes.
And she's got a hot young boyfriend. He's in his mid to late 20s, and she's in her mid 60s. So you go, girl.
That'll keep you young.
That will.
Right?
I would think so.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about with Madonna. She's going to do these sort of things. I mean, it's just, it is shocking. I think it's the show that she's still relevant. And you know what? Dolce & Gabbana, I agree.
Because she's done everything from being a pop star to a housewife to a mom. Now she's
Actress,
a hot
older
lady.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
We're not done with the show yet. We got more of today's talk, tomorrow's trends. All right, before you plunge into the weekend, we got to let you know what you need to binge watch. Jackson, what do you got?
Oh, one of my favorite shows is back. HGTV, Ugliest House in America. New season. Take a look.
We've seen some unattractive homes over the last few years. Is that real, Zebra?
It is.
And that's putting it nicely. Wow! I don't know how it's possible, but America, you stepped up your game big time. The Ugly is back, and it is back with a vengeance.
Love Retta. She is one of my favorites. She could, read a phone book and I'd listen to her. She's just
great.
Terrific.
And for some reason, they put that poor woman in houses that have stairs that nobody should ever go up and down. And she's always afraid to go.
And I don't blame her, right? Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And some of these houses, you're like, how did that even get near code? Anywhere near code? There's that one that I think on the second episode of the season, it's got holes in it. There you go. It's got a hole in the house. And then how many sunken bathrooms do you need?
Oh, it's nuts.
Bathtubs.
And how do you not get killed in those things? Like you wake up in the middle of the night and you get killed by stumbling into your shower because you missed the toilet on the way in.
It's a fun show. And it's also kind of like a game show because you get to pick, who do you think they'll pick this week. And a lot of carpet. You'll see a lot of
carpet.
All right, my pick for the weekend is The Rip, a gritty, no-brakes ride where one bad decision sets off a chain reaction you can't look away from. Lock in. This one goes hard.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we spoke, you described the job as follows. Your unit works the dope game. Drugs, guns.
Knock, knock, Miami PD.
How you doing this evening?
5 cops just magically appeared on my doorstep. I've been better.
Don't mind if we come inside.
But the majority of your work consisted of cash seizures.
I don't have any drugs.
The dog's not trained to detect drugs. The dog's trained to detect money.
What's great about this, I didn't know that this movie was coming out, so I didn't know a whole lot about it, which I'm glad I do. So if you're gonna watch it, don't let anybody tell you anything about it because there's some turns and twists in there. Of course, it's got Matt Damon, Ben Affleck is in there as well. They're partners who uncover a massive cash stash. It says it's based off a true story. The only thing that in the real story was the money. That's it.
Buckets.
And they created a story all around it. That's all basically it is. And which you'll find out. There's some other little truths in there too. But it's good to see those guys back together working.
They're great. Yeah.
It's fun. It's
fun to watch those too. For sure.
We hope that we were fun to watch for you. We love the fact you are.
Yeah. Stay with us. Head to our website for more information. DailyFlashShow.com.
Have a great weekend. Bye bye.